Black mamas, black parents, where y'all at? I'm talking about the ones with the black boys. I am pretty sure you want your boys to become high value black men. And I am Raymond, and I'm about to lay out my journey because it's an easy way to do it and it's a hard way. And my route to become high value was hard. I like easy. So the easy route is when you have the innate ability to do something you really like. It's just not hard. It's like you were born with it. Math for me was super easy from K to 12. So that made me want to be an engineer. And a lot of times it was not easy getting that degree. So I'm about to take the hard out and make it easy. And I want to talk about education and money. So everybody needs money, and the best way to get money is a safe way. And the safe way to get it is through education. So let's Google what majors pay the most money. All right. Look what Google told us. What majors pay the most money? College majors with the highest salaries. What's the key word that we're seeing over and over? Engineering, electrical engineering, that's my degree. Systems engineering, petroleum, civil, industrial, chemical, aerospace, computer, mechanical. Engineers get paid. 4-year engineering degree, you are coming out making six figures. The foundation of engineering is math. You have to be good at math, but don't let math intimidate you. Why is math the foundation? Math develops your critical and analytical thinking skills. Look right here. You see all this stuff in front of you? All this probably looking Greek stuff? This is math. Think about it. If you can understand and do these problems, you can solve anything. I guarantee it. Let's look at how much engineers make. I got to show you in black and white. Mamas, daddies, are y'all seeing this? Average salary, engineers, $100,000. Think about it. Your son starts college at 18. He graduates at the age of 21 or 22. And his first job, he's making over $100,000 a year. That's high value. Like really, really high value in terms of salary. But I want to let you guys know that that number is not telling you everything. I know this from experience. Let's say that you're getting $100,000 a year. Well, they have something called total compensation. And what that is the entire package of all the perks and the benefits and everything else they're throwing in. So some of the things you get will be a 401k match, and that can be 6, 8, maybe even 10% of your salary that they will match. You're going to get health care for you. If you have a family, kids, they're paying for that, or at least most of it. Engineers, we get a life insurance policy. Typically, it's your annual salary or your annual salary and a half. And if you want more, you can purchase it. Depending on what company you work for, it's all type of company perks. I think it's Facebook or maybe Microsoft or it's Apple, but I believe they actually have daycare where they pay for that. So that's worth a lot of money. I hear people saying that they pay, $15,000 a year just for daycare. So if you look at the total compensation, that 100,000 is really about 140, maybe even 150 when you look at everything that they're throwing in. And again, you're 21, 22 years old making that. That's a lot of money. It also depends on what school you graduate from. So if you're coming out of some of the top schools like Stanford, MIT, Georgia Tech, you ain't making 100,000 starting. You're making probably 125, 130 if you go into the big companies like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple. Your total compensation can be hitting about 175,000 coming out of those really, really good schools. You know what? Let's rewind this a little bit because I'm going to go back and talk about my math back when I was in junior high and high school. I got a story to tell you about that. So when I was in high school, I think I graduated with a 3.7, maybe 3.8 GPA. And I was getting straight A's in math. And the highest level math that my high school offered was trigonometry. And if you haven't figured it out, if the highest my school offered was trigonometry, that meant I was in the hood going to a hood, jacked up public education school system. And when I first got to college, I took Calculus 1 and I failed it. I had to repeat it. And I never felt anything in my life when it came to school. So that was a big shock. And I actually thought maybe I had picked the wrong major. And what I did, I started talking to the other kids in the class. And I was only black. So that was different too, being only black in class. And when I started talking to them, they were telling me that they were getting A's on a test. And they would tell me that they were hanging out over the weekend. They were going skiing. They were on their parents' boats. They were just doing whatever. It was like they didn't really study for it. So I started asking them, how did you do it? And like, wow, man, you must be really smart. And I was getting intimidated. Well, they were not really smart. They were not smarter than me. They just had better opportunities than I had. So these kids were coming from suburban school systems, and they were telling me that their high school offered Calc 2. So when we were taking Calc 1, that was all review for them. And all that stuff was brand new for me. So, I failed it. I had to repeat it. I had to switch a whole bunch of stuff around. I had to learn how to study better. It was just a lot of things I had to do to improve and get through it. And I did it. And if your kids are in a poor school system, you need to try to get them in a better school system, or you need to get them in the best school within your system. I know some school systems, they have like maybe a college prep high school or what they call a magnet school, and hopefully your kid can get in that, and things would be a lot better. Make sure the school has a strong math and science curriculum. And also have a plan B if you can't do any of that. So if your kids are stuck in the school that they're in, guide them to a college that they're most likely to graduate from. So typically that'd be an HBCU, or it'd be a Division II school with an engineering program. The other option is to consider a community college. Pro tip, if they go to a community college, go to the school that they think they're going to transfer to. And again, make sure that's a Division II school. So Division II school is, a smaller school. It's not the University of Washington or Georgia Tech, MIT, Stanford. It'd be like Wayne State University, which is in Michigan, Kennesaw State University, which is in Georgia. Wow, I can't think of any other like Division II schools. But typically, a Division II school because they have Division II football or Division II basketball, and just make sure they have an engineering program. Make sure before you go to that community college, you go to the Division II school, and you make sure that they will take the credits from the community college. So you want to make sure if you're taking all your calculus and your math at the community college, that the Division II school with the engineering program will accept your credits. Let's talk about when your boys aren't at school. So they're at home with you, because remember that education doesn't just happen in school. And typically black boys, girls a little bit more, but black boys, we hate math. We don't even try. We can be good at it. We just like, no, after 1 + 1 is 2, I'm done. And you want to kind of, get them always thinking about it. So when they're young, I call this the magic of 20%. You should drill in them that, 20% is a good number, and it's a good number for a lot of reasons. They say that you should save 20% of your pay. That should go toward retirement. When you go to a restaurant and you get good service, they say you should tip 20%. So, when you're out with your kids and you're at a restaurant, give them the bill and tell them to figure out the 20% so you can leave a 20% tip. If they get money, so if they get an allowance, birthday gifts, Christmas gifts, anytime they get money, if they have a little job, encourage them to save 20% of their money and let them figure out what the 20% is. Take their money and put it in an investment account, not a bank account, but start teaching them what an investment account is. Put the money there, and then once you get a nice amount of money, you can start them to buying stocks. And I got you covered with that. I have a different YouTube channel called Stocks and Rentals, and I'll leave a link in the description so you can go there and learn about stocks. Now, saving 20%, you might think that's hard. It might be hard for you. And I'm pretty sure your boys are going to think it's hard. But one way to save even more money or keep the money you have is to learn how to do things. All high value men know how to do stuff. So you want to get your boys around a handyman. And hopefully the handyman can show them how to use power tools, hand tools. One way to do that is if you hire someone to fix something. What I used to do is I was always curious. If my mom had someone fixing something, I wanted to be around them, and I was looking and learning and asking questions. If you buy something that needs to be assembled, let them assemble it or let them help you assemble it. Remember, ladies, your goal is whatever you want your high value man to be, that's what you want in your boys. Push them to use their degree to be business owners. The people who invented Apple, Google, Amazon, they all had engineering degrees. And when I was getting my degree, no one put in my head that you have one of the best and most technical degrees you can get. And these are the people that start things. Everyone was telling me, oh, wow, you got your engineering degree, go work for somebody. So if I can do it all over again, that would be something that I would have concentrated on while I was getting my degree, to get it and start my own business. If your kids are on social media, they're glued to it. They can't put their phones down. Encourage them to make money while they're on social media. I see so many kids getting paid on that. So don't teach them to be consumers. Teach them to be businessmen. Lastly, and I'm talking to the mamas, when you date guys, you need to ask them, what can they teach you and your kids? High value man will give you value. If you're still thinking, or you saying to guys when you meet them, what can you do for me? You and your kids are already losing, because whatever that guy can do for you, when he leaves, whatever he can do for you leaves too. If he teaches you something, lessons are forever. I'm Raymond, high value black man. This one is for the kids.